Hey guys, welcome to the channel. As you see in the thumbnail, What If Issei is son of the Azazel and Ymiko Part 2. Before I start, please do support for more awesome content and subscribe my channel and like this video, and also go support the Wandering Boy for writing that awesome fanfic. Let's start this video. What a night, said Issei as he woke up with Riaz and Kuroka naked hugging him. Well, best get started on breakfast, then we have to deal with cadre, said Issei as he managed to untangle himself from Riaz and Kuroka without waking them, got dressed and went downstairs. Kitchen. I'll make everyone a Japanese breakfast, said Issei as he started making breakfast. I wonder when those exorcists will be up. Just outside the kitchen with Irina and Zenobia. Irina, we should leave now and get this over with, then head back to the Vatican, said Zenobia. Zenobia, well, I don't like being here, we should at least get breakfast, said Irina. Okay, but as soon as we're done we are leaving, said Zenobia. Okay, said Irina as they walked into the kitchen with Issei talking to Michael through a portal. So Issei, is there any to report? Asked Michael. No, just that those exorcists are staying with me at the moment. To be honest, they are extremely rude. I know we're supposed to be enemies, but come on, said Issei. You, is it she was raised in the church so she doesn't know anything else besides that life? Well, Irina used to live a few houses away from where you live, said Michael. Yeah, Zenobia is more brawn than brains, not surprising considering that she wields Excalibur destruction, said Issei while making breakfast, but she could at least try. She has nearly started war, one don't know how many fucking times already. I'll talk to her when I can see you, Issei, said Michael. See ya, said Issei as he was about to finish breakfast as the portal closed. Issei, why are you talking to the Archangel, Michael? Asked Irina. Well, if you were listen, which was rude by the way, we were talking about cadre and if anything new had happened, said Issei. But why did it seem so friendly between you two? Asked Zenobia. Well, his is my uncle, said Issei. Everyone breakfast, yelled Issei. How is Michael your uncle? You're a fallen, said Irina. True, but my father was a pure blood angel before he became a fallen, and Michael was his brother, and they still consider each other brothers, said Issei as some started coming into the dining area. Smells great, Issei. What did you make? Asked Riaz as she came in with Kuroka and the others. It's a Japanese breakfast, enjoy, said Issei as he served up everyone. Let's just eat and leave, Irina whispered Zenobia to Irina. Fine, but I'm going to enjoy my home country's food again. If Michael is friendly with Issei, then I say he is trustable, said whispered Irina. How are you holding up, Kiba? Asked Issei telepathically to Kiba. I'm fine, Issei, thanks for asking. I just can't wait until we find Valper, then I can avenge my friends, said Kiba back. During breakfast there was mostly just small talk. Irina and Zenobia left as soon as they were finished. The girls went out into town, leaving Issei, Kiba and Fafnir at the house. Kiba was practicing his sword skills while Issei was working on the sacred gear for Fafnir's sins. Now he could use the stuff he gathered on the boosted gear, he could improve his own one for Fafnir. Issei, Kuroka and Rainer had been asked to see Azazel, Serzic, Serafal and Michael, so they left around 3 p.m. Time skip. Cadre fight. Kiba seen same as Anime. Kiba fell to the ground in a trance-like state as several kids of multiple ages appeared as ghosts surrounding him. It's okay if everyone gathers together. Take us in. It's not scary, even if there is no God. Even if God isn't watching over us, our hearts will always be one. They all said as they absorbed themselves into Kiba's body. Everyone was crying at the heartbreaking scene. My comrades didn't want me to wish for revenge. That's not what they wanted. But I felt like I had to defeat the evil that is before me so that there would not be others like us created anymore, said Kiba as he materialized his demonic blade. Freed! Screamed Valper, humming. Screamed Freed as he landed in front of Valper. Your opponent is me, said Zenobia, whacking him away like a fly. HMPH, you fool. You should have just let yourself be disposed of, said Valper. Kiba. Beat that bastard Freed and those Excaliburs. Don't waste their feelings and their souls, shouted Arthur, snapping Kiba out of his trance-like state. Arthur? Said Kiba, surprised. Udo. You are a part of my family, part of the Gremory household. No knight of mine would lose to something like an Excalibur, said Riaz, making Kiba smile. Udo. I believe in you. Akeno said, joining in with the encouragement. Udo. Fight Nai, said Kaneko. Everyone, said Kiba as he stood up and turned his attention back to Valper. I will become a sword. My comrade souls who have merged with mine, let's overcome this together. Our thoughts and wishes can now be accomplished. I'll become a sword for the president and for my comrades. Sword birth, Kiba shouted as lights of both mixtures of light and darkness embedded his held blade. Sword of betrayer, a sword vested with both holy and devil powers. Stop it if you can, said Kiba as crimson letters appeared on the side of his blade. Holy and devil fused together into a sword, Riaz said, fascinated by Kiba's sudden forgery. This is it. Kiba's balance breaker, said Arthur happily. That's impossible. For two opposing elements to mix together like that, something like that shouldn't be possible, said Valper, cowering as Kiba walked towards him. Kiba, Udo, let's destroy that Excalibur and those heathens together, said Zenobia, now joining Kiba's side. Is that really alright with you? Asked Kiba turning to Zenobia. At this point, even though it's a holy sword, it isn't holy any longer. It's a strange sword. Peter, Basilius, Dionysius and the Blessed Virgin Mary. Please hear my prayers. Said Zenobia, creating a hole in the dimension as a sword shot out from the hole bound in holy chains. In the name of the saint living in this blade I set you free. Holy sword Durandal. Said Zenobia, breaking the chains as soon as her hand made contact with the handle. Well, I knew Zenobia was a natural wielder, but for it to be Durandal. Said Arthur in his head, surprised. A sword on par with Excalibur, said to cut everything on this world, said Rhea, stunned by its sudden arrival. How are you holding that my research never went into Durandal? Screamed Valper. Unlike Kiba Arena, I'm one of the few naturals. This wild guy cuts to pieces anything he touches. He doesn't always listen to me either, for that he is held in another dimension, said Zenobia. I don't believe you. Screamed Fried as he swung the Excalibur at Zenobia. Yours is just a broken holy sword. It is no match for my Durandal, said Zenobia, just barely missing Fried, who used Excalibur rapid specs to dodge her. Bitch. Screamed Fried. That sword isn't enough to sever our hopes. Said Kiba as he collided with Fried's. It broke. Screamed Fried, because as soon as his and Kiba's sword collided it broke into pieces. Did you see that? Our powers overcame Excalibur. Said Kiba as Fried collapsed after Kiba sliced him, making Fried faint from the shock. I get it now. If the balance of holy and devil is upset, that means that not only the devil kings died, but also, said Valper as a huge golden light spear stabbed through him, causing him to disintegrate. You were really talented, but you had to go and put 2 and 2 together, said Cacabiel. What was Valper talking about? Answer me, asked Zenobia. Haha, what the hell, I'm starting a war. Crackled Cacabiel, laughing. God is dead. Impossible, God can't be dead, said Zenobia as she fell onto her knees. Haha, and do you know what's even funnier? You know the person that did it. Laughed Cacabiel. Who killed God? Asked Zenobia weakly. It was Issei. Well, I don't blame him. God tried to use him as a weapon to kill all life, laughed Cacabiel. No way, said Zenobia. Cacabiel, you will stop this at once, said Michael as he flew in with Issei, Raynor and Kuroka. Haha, do you really think I'm going to listen to you, brother? Said Cacabiel, saying brother with disgust. Lord Michael, is it true that Issei killed God? Asked Zenobia. Yes, it is, but do not think bad of Issei. He had done the right thing. Father tried to kill all living life for no reason, said Michael. Enough. Now that you're here I can kill you. Said Cacabiel as he formed a giant golden light spear and threw it at Michael and the others. Sorry Cacabiel, you're not starting a war. Father wants you taken back for questioning. But he didn't say you had to be in one piece though, said Issei as he neutralized Cacabiel's light spear. Well, look who it's, the disgusting dragon and fallen hybrid. Said Cacabiel with disgust. How's your mother? Oh right. Is that your way of fighting me, trying to use the disappearance of my mother against me? You are nothing but the lowest of the low, said Issei, sending a light spear at Cacabiel, taking of his right hand and hitting a few of his wings, making blood and black fathers go everywhere. The dragon and fallen hybrid, he can't be the blacklight dragon. Said Zenobia, panicking in her thoughts. You little bitch, I'll teach you your place. Screamed Cacabiel as he launched several light spears at Issei, who had taken flight. You to think I used to fear you? This will be quick, since I can tell Sona and her servants are running out of power, said Issei, dodging Cacabiel's light spear. Fine then, bring it on, said Cacabiel, launching more light spears at Issei. A few minutes later. Well, whoever my father sent to pick you up should be here in 3, 2, 1, said Issei as he stood over the stump of Cacabiel that was now only just his body and nothing else. Looks like you made my job easy, Issei, said a female voice in white armor as she broke through Sona's barrier in a white light with a touch of blue. Ollie, so father sent you, how have you been? Asked Issei. Is that the White Dragon Empress? Asked Rhea, shocked. Who? Asked Murayama. She holds my brother, she's our enemy, be careful, said Dreg. I have been fine, Issei, thank you for making my job require no work, said Bali as she picked up Cacabiel and the still unconscious Fried and got ready to leave. Are you just going to ignore me, brother? Asked Dreg. Brother, it's been some time, how have you been? Asked a voice from the armor. I've been fine, but why are you asking me this? We have been fighting for hundreds of years, and this is the first time you talk to me is to ask how I have been. Asked Drake, surprised. You have a fair point, but I think it's time we stop this stupid feud of ours. I can't even remember what we were fighting over, said Albion. True, I can't remember why we were fighting either, said Drake. Well, I also want the same as Albion, I still would like to have friendly fights. I'll be back soon, be ready for it, said Volley as she took off. Issei, how do you know the White Dragon Empress? Asked Riaz as everyone walked over to him. I found her a few years back, she was injured so it took her in and healed her. Then I found out that she had no place to go, so I let her stay and trained her, said Issei. Issei, tell me, why did you kill God? Asked Zenobia. Because I'm a light dragon, that's why, said Issei. But I thought light dragons were good, said Zenobia, shocked. No, they were the worst beings alive, they killed everyone, even angels, said Issei. Does that mean you were originally an angel? Asked Zenobia. No, I'm the only light dragon naturally born. Light dragons were made of God's power and were designed to kill all lives, said Issei. Is that true, Michael? asked Zenobia. Yes, it is, said Michael sadly. Then I can't serve you anymore, I'm sorry, said Zenobia. I understand, said Michael. You can't go back to the church either, you will be declared a heretic and most likely killed, said Issei. Well, you can stay at my place for tonight and whatever you decide to do, my place will be open for you, said Issei. Thank you, Issei, said Zenobia. Well, we have a lot of work to do and you are needed for this, Issei, said Michael as he gathered the pieces of Excalibur. Damn it, said Issei. I was going to get a drink. You fine, let's get this over with. I'm skipped 2 days school first break. Great, we're just waiting on one more person, said Riaz taking a sip of tea. Who are we waiting on, Sister Riaz? Asked Asia. He said Zenobia appearing at the door. Zenobia, what are you doing here? Asked Murayama. When I took Irina back to the church they had somehow found out what happened, so they tried to kill me, said Zenobia. I ran to here, but by the time I got here the church were already waiting. I managed to kill them, but not before one landed a lethal blow on me. Luckily Riaz found me and I became a devil. What? Said Murayama surprised as Zenobia spread her devil wings. Well then everyone, let's welcome our new member, said Riaz, and Akeno brought out a cake and so the little party began. Time skip lunch. Well, that was an interesting lesson, said Murayama as Riaz and her group were walking to their club room. Why's that, Murayama? Asked Riaz. All the guys were talking about how they were going to have with Zenobia, but Zenobia shut them down straight away. It was so funny to laugh at, said Murayama. Haha, said Riaz as they got to the club door. So, is my Riaz being a good girl? Asked a voice from inside the room. It can't be, said Riaz. Ara, said Akeno laughing in her hand. Brother, what are you doing here? Asked Riaz as they went inside the club room. I came here to see you. Can't a brother come see his sister, said Surzich as he was having a glass of wine with Grafia, Issei, Kuroka, Rainer. You're the Devil King, you can't just do this, said Riaz. I also came here for business so I can, said Surzich standing up. You're a Devil King, I'm Zenobia, it's a pleasure to meet you, said Zenobia as she bowed. You don't need to bow to me, said Surzich, you serve my little sister and if she considers you family then I do as well. Master, we need to find a place to stay, said Grafia as she got up a bit tipsy. Haha, I forgot how much of a lightweight you are, Grafia, just stay at my place, said Issei as he grabbed Grafia, stopping her from failing over. I'm not a lightweight, said Grafia, but everyone could, she was getting tipsy. Thanks, Issei, we will head there now since Grafia needs to sober up a bit, said Surzich. What business are you here for, brother? Asked Riaz. We're going to be holding a peace meeting here, said Surzich. Peace meeting? Asked Riaz confused. Yes, we have decided to hold a peace meeting between devils, fallen angels and angels here, and we're hoping to get peace between our kinds, not this Cold War style we have at the moment, said Surzich. Well then let's get everything ready, said Riaz. Time skip peace meeting. For this peace we are going to need the opinions of 3 people in this room, Vali, Issei and Murayama. What's your say on this peace? Asked Azazel. I want peace, said Issei. Same here, said Vali. Same here, said Murayama. Well then let us sign the peace treaty then, said Michael. Well, it looks like some people don't want us to sign this treaty, given that they have killed our guards, said Issei. Probably the old Satan faction is attacking, said Surzich. You let's deal with them then, said Issei as he blew a hole through the wall, and they are a part of a faction called the Cows Brigade. Issei, don't wreck my school, said Sona. It's going to get destroyed anyway because look at their aim, said Issei as the old Satan faction were now shooting at them, missing every shot. Are we in some movie or game where the enemies have bad aims? Haha, true, some Devil King descendants, they bring shame to my great-grandfather's name, said Vali. Great-grandfather's name? Asked everyone besides Issei, Azazel and Kuroka. Haha, oh this is going to be fun, said Vali as she spread her 8 devil wings. What the hell? Yelled everyone besides the angels. Meet Vali, Lucifer, the great-granddaughter of Lucifer himself, said Issei as everyone felt as if their jaws hit the ground. Well, that's unexpected, said Surzich. Let's give her some backup, said Issei as he spread his fallen wings and darted at full speed into the group of old Satan devils. You're right, let's not let them have all the fun, said Azazel. A few minutes later, near the end of the fight, you the low-class peasants are only good for serving us and nothing else, said a female devil. Says the woman that has been hiding behind them, said Issei as he killed the last old Satan faction weak devils. I am no woman, I am Kateria Leviathan. I am a Devil King, screamed Kateria with pride in her voice. You're a Leviathan, don't make me laugh. You only bring shame to the original Devil Kings, said Vali as she landed. Vali, Lucifer, you're half-blood bitch. You have betrayed the true Devil Kings of this world. For that you will die, screamed Kateria. I'll die to a devil that has never trained a day in her life. Don't make me laugh, laughed Vali. Haha, looks like our faction leader is here, said Kateria as a black portal opened and a small black-haired girl came through with another slightly smaller girl with the same looks. Is that Office? We're dead, said Surzich, panicking at Office's sudden appearance. Office, let's kill these, screamed Kateria as Office shoot a snake through her. Do you really think I wouldn't notice that you were using me and my power? You're wrong, said Office as she finished off Kateria. Office, it's been a while, said Issei. Who may I ask is the little girl that looks like you? asked Issei. I call her Lilith. She is a copy of my power from when Cao Cao stole some of my power to make another copy of me, making her my daughter, said Office, surprising everyone. Well, that is surprising, said Issei as Lilith came up to her and started sniffing him. Lilith. You have mother's smell on you and the smell of something sweet, said Lilith. Sweet, oh you mean this, said Issei as he grabbed some chocolate out of a pocket dimension. Give me, said Lilith childishly as she tried to grab the chocolate. Haha, yet this is defiantly a child of Office, said Issei as he gave Lilith the chocolate and tossed some to Office as well. Son, why is Office so friendly with you? Asked Azazel, asking the question everyone was wondering. We spoke the night after I defeated Riser. She wanted to take me as a mate since I'm now low-level dragon god, said Issei. But I said I prefer to know a person before I mate with them, so I said she would come to me at some point. Okay, but Office, don't you want to kill Great Red still? Asked Azazel. I still hate Baka Red, but Issei interests me more, said Office muffled as she was eating the chocolate. Well, it's not like we can stop her, said Azazel. Now we best be off, said Michael as he spread his wings ready to leave. Lord Michael, may I ask a favor? Asked Murayama. As long as it's in my power, said Michael. Do you think you can allow Asia and Zenobia to start praying again? For sometimes I've noticed as something is missing from their lives, and praying is my best guest, said Murayama as Asia and Zenobia had shocked faces. Is that true, Asia, Zenobia? Asked Michael. Yes, it is, Lord Michael. Even though we have become devils for different reasons, praying was the biggest part of our lives, said Zenobia. Then answer me this, would you still pray even though you both now father is dead and what he has done? Asked Michael. Zenobia didn't betray us. She just learned what God did, and when the church found out about it, they portrayed her as evil, a heretic. Why did I have to believe them? I called my best friend a heretic. She must hate me now, said Irina. In thought surprised. I would also like to ask if you could allow them, Lord Michael, said Irina. Irina? Asked Zenobia, surprised. Zenobia, I want to apologize. When the church told me to become a devil, they said you did horrible things, and I believed it without questioning it. I'm so sorry, said Irina as she started to cry. Irina, it's okay, I forgive you, said Zenobia as she walked over to her friend and hugged her, forgetting that she had a cross on. Thank you, Zenobia and Asia. I'm sorry for the name I called you, for being able to heal devils and fallen, said Irina, still crying lightly. It is okay, I hold nothing against you, said Asia, joining and hugging Irina. That's sweet, said Issei as a small tear came out of his left eye. Yes, it is, and I don't see the problem of two devils praying, said Michael. Thank you, Lord Michael, said Zenobia. Dear Lord, oh, said Zenobia and Asia as they started praying. Haha, give it some time, I have to return to heaven and change the system a little, said Michael. Irina, time for us to go. Surzich, do you mind sending over a copy of any information on the evil pieces, asked Michael. Sure, let me guess you'll use it to create your own version, said Surzich. That's a good idea, can we have a copy as well, asked Azazel. Yes, both our kinds need to increase our numbers, and it will help our relationships as well, said Issei. Agreed, I'll get Ajuka to send over any information soon as he can, said Surzich. Well then let's started repairing the school, said Sona. Time skip back at Issei's house, Issei's research and testing room. And that should do it. How are you feeling, Fafnir? Asked Issei as he finished working on Fafnir's gear. Fine, everything seems fine, but it's late so I'm going to sleep, said Fafnir. Night, said Issei as he placed a little spear into a little bat of sorts. As it changed into Fafnir put familiar size and fell asleep. Issei, I thought you would like a drink, said Rainer, knocking at the door. Rainer, thank you, come in, said Issei as he leaned back in his chair. You're welcome, Issei, said Rainer as she gave Issei a hot cup of cocoa, blushing. Rainer, you were never very good at hiding your feelings, said Issei in his thoughts. How is everyone at the moment? Asked Issei. Everyone is in the living room watching TV. Office and Lilith are eating sweets with Kaneko and Kuroka. They seem to be getting along very well, said Rainer as Issei, ignoring me on purpose just to tease me, said Rainer in thoughts. Well, if you don't need anything, Issei, I'll be in the living room, said Rainer as she started walking away. So, you're just going to give up just like Rainer? I could smell your arousal as you walked in here, said Issei as he got up and walked up to Rainer. I give up because I'm only a weak fool and you are the next leader of our kind. I can't stand by someone of your power, said Rainer sadly as she started crying. Rainer, you are not weak, you can be as strong as you want, said Issei as he hugged Rainer and gently stroked her hair. Really, Sniff, do you mean it? Asked Rainer, sniffling as she looked up to Issei. Yes, I do, if you put your heart to it, you can do almost anything, said Issei as he wiped away Rainer's tears. Thank you, Issei, said Rainer as she took Issei in a deep kiss, which she hoped Issei wouldn't be mad at her for doing it. So Rainer is this aggressive type? Well, sorry Rainer, but I won't be dominated by anyone, said Issei in his thoughts, because as soon as Rainer kissed him, the fight for dominance over the other's mouth began. Will at first Rainer had the upper hand because of surprising Issei that didn't last long. Issei moaned Rainer as Issei's hand started to roam about her body, teasing her at his will. Haha, did you really think you can have dominance over me, Rainer? I think it's time this dragon tamed this naughty little raven, said Issei as he pushed Rainer onto the bed in the room, which was there for when any of his projects went on for long amounts of time. Issei screamed Rainer, and Issei ripped her clothes off and started nibbling on her left nipple while his left hand went down to her. Do you like this, my little raven? Asked Issei while he was a dragon and would dominate her, he couldn't bring himself to force himself on her. Yes, please more Issei, I'm yours and yours alone, moaned Rainer, giving Issei the go-ahead. Very well, then it will hurt at first, but the pain will soon disappear, said Issei as he lined himself up with Reynauds. I'm ready Issei, but please be gentle, said Rainer, nervous. Okay, here I go, said Issei as he pushed into being even more careful because of being a dragon. His size was bigger than the common supernatural being. It hurts, screamed Rainer. You can hold on to me until it's over, said Issei as he kissed her and brought her into a hug. A few minutes later, I'm okay now Issei, please move, said Rainer as she started bucking her hips against Issei. Okay, here we go, I'll start slowly, tell me when it's okay to go quicker, said Issei as he started thrusting at a gently speed, getting lovely moans out of Rainer. This is so good, more Issei please, moaned Rainer. Okay Rainer, I'll make it so that you can't walk tomorrow, said Issei as he put Rainer onto all fours on the bed and started fucking her as hard as he could, making her non-stop. Yes Issei. Fuck me, screamed Rainer, and Issei grabbed some of her hair and pulled her back into a kiss. I'm going to, are you ready my little light ray, said Issei as he started fucking Rainer harder and deeper. Please in me, moaned Rainer, and Issei took her in another deep kiss. Well then here you go my little light ray, said Issei as he started minging Rainer. A few minutes later, thank you Issei, said Rainer happily as she fell asleep. Haha, I guess she was still tired from fighting. Well, I'll put her in her room, then join the others, said Issei as he used magic to clean Rainer up, then took her to her room, then went and joined the others. The next day, Issei's place. Everyone, we are going to the school quickly, then we're going to the underworld, said Riaz. Why's that, sister Riaz? Asked Asia, confused. Well, we're going to the school to grab one more member of my family, then we're going to hell because it's the gathering of young devils, said Riaz. So Surzich has told you to release your other bishop? Asked Sona. Yes, he said he was going to tell me a few days before the peace meeting, but forgot, said Riaz. Well then let's go, said Issei. A sealed room. We're here, said Riaz. That's a strong seal, but it seems that it weakens around nighttime, said Issei, studying the seal. Yes, my brother put it up because when I got the servant I wasn't strong enough to control his power, said Riaz. Well then let's undo this seal. Nuo, screamed a voice inside the sealed room. Your seal is undone, you can come out now, said Riaz as she walked in with everyone. No, I don't want to, it's nice in here, I don't want to see my friends' frozen faces again, said a voice from a coffin. A vampire, I didn't expect that, said Issei looking at the coffin. Come out, Riaz-sama told you to, said Murayama, grabbing the coffin lid and pulling it off, revealing a platinum blonde haired girl, another blonde bishop. Thank you, Lucifer. Murayama, you do know that's a guy, right, said Issei. What? Screamed Murayama in shock. You can't be, you look so much like a girl, said Murayama as she did that classic anime teleport round the male vampire, looking at him all over. You look way too good in girls' clothes. But these are clothes are cuter, said the vampire. Stop looking at me, said the vampire as time froze. Did he just freeze time? Asked Asia. Yes, he did. Gasper has a scared gear that can stop time, it's called, said Riaz, and Issei cut her off. Forbidden Baylor view. Now Wonder Surzich decided to seal him away. That is a very dangerous scared gear if the user doesn't know how to control it, so he a damper, said Issei. Yes, he is. I found him in the underworld. He had just been stabbed by some vampire hunters. I gave him the choice and he took it, said Riaz as she went and hugged Gatsby. Riaz, why did you unseal me? Asked Gasper. My brother says I'm strong enough to help you control your power now. I want to help you overcome this fear, Gatsby, said Riaz. I'm scared, Riaz, I don't want to see my friends' frozen faces anymore, said Gatsby as he shock in fear remembering the past. Riaz, can me and Gatsby talk on our own for a bit? Asked Issei. What's your plan, Issei? Asked Riaz. We are going to have a man-to-man talk, with my father having some information in his gear. It could help him control it better, but there is one quick way to speed your control, Gatsby, said Issei. What's that, Issei? Asked Gatsby. You drink some blood of a dragon. Our kind's blood can do many things, and helping a person control their power is one, said Issei. No, I can't drink blood, said Gatsby as he yelled slightly as he disappeared, then appeared in a box against the wall. What kind of vampire doesn't drink blood? Asked Zenobia, being the most clueless out of everyone. Vampires are probably the strictest being in the worlds about pure bloodlines. Most half-bloods, even if they are related to people in power, it means nothing to them, said Issei as he walked over to Gatsby and rubbed his hair. You don't hate me for being a half-blood? Asked Gatsby. No, it doesn't matter what you are, what matters is what is in here, said Issei as he pointed to Gatsby's heart. Well then, we'll leave you two for say an hour, then we have to leave for the underworld, said Riaz, smiling at the heartwarming scene. Riaz knew that she had made the right choice falling in love with Issei. He's kind, caring, helpful, he could be anything you wanted him to be. Not to mention he was great in bed. Our lives are just going to get better and better from now on, said Riaz in her mind, as a light blush came over her as she tried to hide it, but Akeno saw Riaz blushing and knew what she was thinking. If Issei is making Riaz blush like that he must be great in bed, laughed Akeno in her mind, as he sadistic side was screaming at her to tease Riaz. Okay, see you soon, said Issei as everyone left. Ready, Gatsby? asked Issei. Mostly I don't know if I could drink blood so soon, though, said Gatsby with some bravery, but at the same time scared. It's okay, Gatsby, we'll take it a pace you feel comfortable with, but you will need to drink blood if you want to get stronger, said Issei. Right, I'll become a man that Rias can be proud of, said Gatsby as he stood up with a serious look on his face. Haha, that's the spirit, Gatsby. Now let's go over a few things, then we'll go and join the others ready to go to the Gremory mansion, said Issei, laughing at Gasper's determination. All he needed was the right person to help him, and he would become a great man. Train ride. Wow, this is a big place, said Asia looking out the window. Yes, this all belonged to my family, and one day some of it will be yours as well, so find a place you like, said Rias, who was cuddling with Issei, who also had Kuroka on his right, Kaneko on his right leg, and Rainer on his left leg. I need to figure out another plan for this, because I can't really move, but I'm not complaining too much, just don't get a hard on, said Issei in his mind. Hey, Sona, said Issei as he felt them walking in. Good afternoon, everyone, said Sona. This is your train driver. There are going to be some delays today, it should only half an hour or so to your ride, said the train driver over the mic. Well, let's hope it doesn't take too long, said Sona, as the train suddenly stopped sending people on top of each other. The emergency brakes have been activated, announced the train system. Is everyone okay? Asked Rias. Yeah, we can even do it again, said Murayama, as she now had a great view of Akino's breasts. Well then let's start at Rias, as everyone was teleported. Same place as they were transported in Anime. Where are we? And who teleported us? Asked Asia. I don't know, but be on your guard. Without Issei and the others we have lost a lot of power, so we'll have to work without them, said Rias. Right, said everyone as a dragon appeared around the hill and started attacking them. End of the fight. That's enough, said Azazel. Azazel, what is the meaning of this? Asked Rias, very pissed off. My stupid father wanted to test how strong you all are, so he asked me to call Tannin to test you, since you would probably hold back against us, said Issei. Did you know of this, Issei? Asked Rias. No, well yes, I knew he was going to test your strength, but I didn't think he would do this, said Issei holding up his hands. Is he lying, Kaneko? Asked Rias. No, he isn't, said Kaneko reading Issei's aura. This was thanks to Kuroka teaching her. Okay then, but I'll get you back for this, Azazel, said Rias. Haha, I can't wait, said Azazel as he teleported away. Wait, Issei, you said this was Tannin, right? The Dragon King turned devil, said Rias. Yes, I did. Everyone meet my grandfather, laughed Issei. It's nice to meet you, said everyone, bowing to Tannin. So, my grandson, these are the devils you have taken an interest in, said Tannin. Yes, grandfather, said Issei. Well, we best get to the Gremory household. Agreed, said Rias. Gremory household. It's nice to be back, even though it was only a few weeks ago we were here, said Rias. At least we can relax this time, said Asia. I'm afraid not, Rias, said Surzich appearing. Why's that, brother? Asked Rias. Have you forgotten what time of year it is? It's the gathering of young devils, said Surzich. Oh, I totally forgot, said Rias. Haha, and we are using the same place to have another piece singing with Lord Auden, said Surzich. That old pervert, said Issei as he sighed. Issei. Pervert? Asked a few. Yes, he is. You best keep your guard up when he's here, said Issei. Great, well then let's get inside, said Rias, sighing. Time skip to the two young devils fighting at the conference. If you got a death wish, I'm happy to fill it, Zephyrdor, said Sakara Gares. Filling is my job, like I said before, if you need a virgin Persian, I'd volunteer, said Zephyrdor Glaciolabolas. What's their deal? Asked Zenobia. We're gonna rumble, said Saji. Right on cue, said Rias. At least we've come to expect this sort of thing after all these years, said Sererg. Hello, Sererg, said Rias. I'll give a warmer welcome later. Approaches Ikfara and Zephyrdor. That's enough. Don't dishonor the Agares family by humoring him, princess. We all know he's Glaciolabola's problem child, said Sererg. Screw you, jackass. Nobody talks about me like that, said Zephyrdor. I know it's strict, but that's your only warning. If you want to push it, I'd be more than happy to show you the door, said Sererg, cracking his knuckles. Ha, I'm not afraid of Bale trash, said Zephyrdor, lunges at Sererg, only to get knocked back to a wall and fall unconscious, causing Asia to be flown back by the force, but is caught by Diodora Asterith. Don't worry, you're alright, said Diodora softly. Thank you, said Asia. That was nuts, said Saji happily. A fine showing by the next Bale family head. No shock though. He is my cousin after all, said Rias. I felt a fight going on. What happened? Asked Issei as he appeared with his group. Two young devils started fighting, and Sererg stopped them, said Rias as she walked over to Issei and kissed him. So, this is the strongest of the young devils. It's nice to meet you, I'm Issei, said Issei as he extended a hand to shake Sererg. So, this is Issei Haidu, the guy that has stolen my cousin's heart, and when we can I would like to fight against you to see how strong you are, said Sererg, shaking Issei's hand. Agreed, I would like to have a fight as well, a full power battle one day, said Issei laughing. Issei, Lord Auden is about to arrive, said Surzich appearing. Great, I have a feeling Loki doesn't want this peace talk to happen, said Issei sighing. Why's that, Issei? asked Surzich. On Surzich, Loki has been trying to destroy the world since he was born. With this happening, it will make it harder for him to do, said Issei. True, said Surzich. Master, Lord Odin is here, said Grafia, walking up to them. Thank you, Grafia. Well, time to meet Lord Odin again. Riaz, Sona, you can come as well, said Surzich. A few minutes later. Lord Odin, it's nice to see you again, said the Devil Kings as Odin appeared with Roswis and Barakiel. It's good to see you as well, said Lord Odin. Akeno, said Barakiel. Father, it's good to see you again, said Akeno as she walked up to her father and hugged him. I don't know how to thank you for this, Issei, said Barakiel as a tear shed from his eye. You don't need to thank me, Barakiel. She needed to know the truth, said Issei. Well then, shall we proceed with the peace signing, Lord Odin, said Surzich. Agreed, said Odin as he was about to place. Objection, said a voice. I'm surprised he waited this long, said Odin looking backwards. You arrogant fool. I am the Norse god Loki. Greetings, said Loki coming through a portal. Alright, now we have a party, said Azazel. Lord Loki, you may be the Norse god of mischief, but that gives you no right to cause problems here, said Surzich. See, Odin, our great all-father mingling with lesser mythologies causes me to suffer indescribable torment, Surzich, said Loki. Leave, Loki. If you return to Valhalla, I'll forgive you for the public affront, said Odin as a few devil guards surrounded him. Really? You can shove your forgiveness, said Loki. Oh great, another man without manners, said Roswis. If he chooses to sign an alliance with the other mythologies, it will make things incredibly for me to set Ragnarok into motion, said Loki. The lyrics are different, but the song sounds the same. Look kid, you're just a clown working for the Cows Brigade, said Azazel. Working for no, working with yes, but I admit this op was my idea. Now let me introduce you to my beloved son, said Loki as Fenrir appeared, sending the devils closest to Loki, flying them, letting out a terrifying roar, making everyone get ready to fight. Loki clicked his fingers, making Fenrir jump into one of the pillars, making Derby fall towards Asia and Gaspy, making Akeno send out a bolt of lightning to destroy it, making Fenrir turn his attention to her as he stepped towards her. My daughter is of limits, punk, said Barakiel as he shot Fenrir with a powerful lightning blast. Oh, look a hero, said Loki, mocking Barakiel as a green light appeared under him and Fenrir. You left yourself open, said Beelzebub. Beelzebub, screamed Loki as himself and Fenrir were trapped and teleported away. Well played, said Surzich. Are you hurt, Akeno? Asked Barakiel. I'm fine, said Akeno. Well now, we have to get ready to deal with Loki, said Surzich. We have a few days at best, so we have some time, said Beelzebub. Well then, let's get planning then, said Ymiko. Later, back at the Gremory household. Issei, can we talk please? Asked Asia as she was now in a lovely yellow dress which showed of her new body. Sure, where do you want to talk and what about? Answered Issei. Can we talk in my room please? Asked Asia, blushing nervously. Sure, let's go, said Issei, noticing what Asia wanted to know. He could smell it. She was in heat. Asia's room. Issei, can you tell me why I'm burning up and why Tannin was acting weird when he was training me and Asia? Asked Asia as the heat started to increase more. You're in heat, Asia. Judging by the strength I can smell of it, you're about a week into your first mating cycle, said Issei. Why didn't you tell me this? Pouted Asia's, cutely crossing her arms. Sorry, I've never dealt with a female dragon in heat, apologized Issei. How long will it last or how do I get rid of it? Asked Asia. Given that you're a light dragon like me, I would guess around 2 to 3 weeks, but it might be different for you since you're a female, said Issei. How long did it last for you? Asked Asia, hoping to get a better idea of her heat cycle since they were both light dragons. For me it lasted 3 weeks, a dragon's first mating cycle, said dragon will have little control, so they usually find a partner to stop some of the effects until 3 weeks are over, said dragon also puts out a certain smell that tells other dragons that they are in heat, said Issei. So, what do his smell like to you right now? Asked Asia, fidgeting, blushing, making her breasts, which were now the same size as Roswis's, move, giving Issei a nice view since she was in a dress that exposed the top part of her breasts. Like wine, a freshly baked pie. You smell so sweet. I'm surprised Tannin didn't take you, said Issei as he walked up to her, taking in her lovely scent. It was driving him mad. Issei, what are you doing? Asked Asia as Issei took her in a hug and kissed her neck. I'm sorry, Asia, but I just can't resist your smell. It's intoxicating, said Issei as his hand started wandering round Asia's body, his right hand going to her left breast. It was the perfect size to fit in his hand, firm enough to hold their shape, but soft like a marshmallow. At the same time, his left hand went behind her and trailed down her spine until it reached her butt cheeks. They were the same as her tits. Pregnant, moaned Asia in between breaths as Issei continued to play with her sensitive body as her lovely yellow dress she had on fell off, leaving her with just her panties on since Issei had removed her bra when her dress came off. I can take care of that, but I'll ask you now if you want to do it because I don't know if I can control myself much longer, said Issei as he continued to tweak both of Asia's nipple with his hand and now with his mouth. Ask Asia now, a moaning mess at Issei's will. Take a pill and it will stop you from getting pregnant for the duration of your heat cycle, said Issei as he quickly reached into his back pocket and pulled out a small pot with a few little white pills in, But that's only if you want to do this, I won't force you to do anything, said Issei with love in his voice, making Asia's heart skip a beat. Please Issei, I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else, said Asia as she kissed Issei. If that's what you want Asia. But I must tell you one thing before we start, said Issei parting from the kiss. Her lips were just as sweet as she was. What's that Issei moaned Asia cutely as she parted from the kiss. Our kind likes having dominance over our mates. It's usually done by fighting each other, and the loser is loyal to the winner. But if we were to fight I would come out on top, said Issei. Issei, I don't care if I'm submissive to you, I love you Issei. I want to be your side forever, said Asia looking up at Issei's eyes full of love. If that's what you want then shall we begin? Asked Issei as he gave Asia a tablet. Yes, please Issei, said Asia as she started taking of Issei's clothes, revealing Issei's toned body as she was getting impatient. Oh, is the young dragon getting impatient? What a naughty little dragon, teased Issei as Asia had now pushed him onto her bed and started licking and kissing his, said Asia as the heat started taking over her, making her roar. Well then I think it's time this dragon taught you the pleasures of, said Issei, as he put up a barrier to stop the noise of two dragons going at it. Issei moaned Asia in surprise as Issei grabbed her head and forced his into her mouth. You took my down to base on your first try, you're such a young dragon, laughed Issei, as Asia was now bobbing her head up and down on Issei's moaning and letting out roars. Keep it up Asia, you're going to have your first taste of, said Issei, as he felt his first load ready to blow. Asia didn't say anything, she just kept bobbing her head up and down, massaging Issei's balls with her right hand as her left went down to her lips. Screamed Issei as he came inside Asia's mouth. Issei's taste so good, moaned Asia as she let Issei's out of her mouth with a loud plop as a few drops came out and hit her face, making her use her hands to lick it off while looking at Issei seductively. Fuck it, I'm not holding back, said Issei as he grabbed Asia and threw her onto the bed into a doggy-style position, which the surprise made her dragon wings and tail pot out. Issei moaned Asia as Issei climbed on top of her, pinning her down and taking her in a deep kiss. You're a naughty girl Asia, you should know better than to tease someone older than you, said Issei, as he parted from the kiss while trailing his left hand down to her, dripping. Oh look at this, you're as dripping. For a person raised in the church since a baby, you wouldn't think you were this, said Issei, as he brought his hand to his mouth to taste her. Issei please, begged Asia as she tried to buck her hips against Issei's hand, but was denied when Issei held her in place. That's not the correct way to ask your mate, is it? Said Issei as he hit Asia's, but getting a nice moan out of her. Oh, it seems you're part masochist. Please Issei, take me, I'm yours to use as you wish, begged Asia. But girl, I think you deserve a reward, said Issei as he pushed into her. It hurts, yelled Asia in pain as her virginity was gone in one thrust. My sweet Asia, the pain will be soon replaced with pleasure, said Issei as he kissed Asia and gentle rubbed her wings, since a dragon's wings were very sensitive. The pain is gone please Issei, moaned Asia as she started bucking her hips against Issei's. Well then, let's have some fun, said Issei as he used his left hand to grab her left arm and pull it back, while doing the same to her right wing, and started thrusting into her tight as fast and hard as he wanted. Screamed Asia in bliss, ming non-stop. Haha, you like being at my will in Asia. You're such a naughty girl, said Issei as he let go of her arm and wing as he flipped her onto her back, then used both his hands to hold her in place as he kept thrusting while taking one of her breasts in his mouth. Screamed Asia as Issei showed no signs of slowing down. Haha. Then tell me, do you want your mates in your, tell me, commanded Issei as he could feel his next load ready to blow. Screamed Asia as she wrapped her legs around Issei's hip to keep him in, since she could feel her biggest orgasm coming, and she wanted Issei to with her at the same time. But girl, here you go, said Issei as he started ming inside Asia. MHH, moaned Asia in the kiss. A few minutes later. That was amazing, can we go again? Asked Asia. Well first we should say hello to our guests. Asked Issei. That means you can come out, Kuroka, Rainer and Riaz. What? Said Asia surprised. How long have you known we've been here, asked Kuroka as they stepped out of Kuroko's portal. For Will, I guess you didn't like me not being in bed with you, laughed Issei, since he could smell the girls' arousal, and that they had each other's scent on each other, meaning that they had some fun while they were watching Asia. I can tell they want to have as well, why don't we let them join in and have some fun? Asked Issei telepathically to Asia, since Asia was still in her heat cycle for the night, making it easy to suggest anything to do with. Sure, why not, it will be more fun, responded Asia as she started walking over to the other girls. Asia? What are you doing, asked Riaz, surprised as Asia took her in a deep kiss while grabbing her left tit and ass. Oh, mine, I didn't think Asia would be into this. This will make this night a whole lot better, purred Kuroka seductively as she walked, and Rainer walked over to Issei, stripping of their nightgowns. Let's have some fun, said Issei as he pulled Kuroka into a deep kiss, while Rainer went down to his, which still had some of his and Asia's on it, giving Rainer the first of many tastes of the girls, while Asia stripped Riaz and threw her onto the bed next to Issei and the others. The next morning. Ugh, what a night, said Issei as a few beams of light hit his face, waking him up to a sight that he would be seeing from now on. His beautiful mates naked as the day they were born, all of them cuddling him. Asia, have you seen Riaz-sama, Issei-sama and Rainer and Kuroka? asked Grafia coming into the room. Grafia, this is the second time this has happened. If I didn't know any better you were doing this on purpose, teased Issei. Issei-sama, why are you in Asia's room? Asked Grafia blushing. I was having with Asia last night since she is in her first mating cycle, then Riaz, Kuroka and Rainer joined us, said Issei getting up. Well then, everyone is needed to meet in the main room to talk about the plan for Loki, and your father says he has the first set of Fallen Saints cards, said Grafia turning away since Issei was naked. Okay, we'll be there soon, said Issei. Later with Issei and his group plus his father. Well, here you go, Issei. TCs are the first set of our reincarnation system, and Kuroka, take this, it will remove your devil part if you wish, said Azazel, passing Issei the 13 cards and Kuroka a single card. Thank you, Dad, said Issei as he used the king piece and used it on himself. Thank you, Azazel, said Kuroka as she used the card to get rid of her devil side. Issei? Asked Rainer. Yeah? Asked Issei. We have already talked and we want to become your first servants, said Rainer as herself. LeFay, Arthur and Kuroka nodded in agreement. Are you sure? Asked Issei. Yes, we are, said everyone. Well then let's get this done, then get to the meeting with the others, said Issei as he turned LeFay, Arthur and Kuroka into fallen angels. Loki meeting. So that's the plan, Riaz, Sona and their groups will we be teleported to the place where Loki is sealed and deal with him, said Surzich. Might I make a suggestion? Asked Issei. Sure, what is it, Issei? Asked Surzich. Well, me and Kuroka were traveling in the Norse land, we met Fenrir. He hates Loki, he said he would rather die than work with him, said Issei. So, you're saying that Loki is controlling Fenrir? Say he's using mind control magic to control Fenrir? Asked Surzich. Yes, that's why I propose that I send me and my team in to capture Fenrir when we can, said Issei. I see nothing wrong with that plan, said Surzich. Well, we have one more day until we have to fight him, so everyone get training, do worry about tiring yourself out. We have a limited supply of phoenix tears ready, and it would be best to save them for the fight, said Surzich. Okay, everyone met in the training room after lunch, be ready, said Issei, Riaz and Sona. Later, Akeno's room. I'm surprised you're this straightforward, Akeno, said Issei, as he had just been pulled into Akeno's room as she stripped. I'm a lot more straightforward than the others, and besides I've waited a long time since I first found out you fucked Riaz, said Akeno, as she stripped off Issei's clothes and started giving Issei a handjob. Haha, I guess the sadistic part of you screamed to tease Riaz, said Issei, as he just sat back and let Akeno do what she wants for now at least. Yes, it did, I've known Riaz for years, and we have even done some fun together, said Akeno as he licked Issei's tip. Oh, I thought Riaz was a bit good to have no experience, so I guess you two have had some lesbian fun, said Issei. MHH, yes, we have done it a few times, but she has never let me try anything more fun, moaned Akeno as she stopped giving Issei a blowjob and started giving him a tit job. They were firm enough to hold their shape, but soft. You're great, Akeno, I'm going to get ready, said Issei as he felt his first load ready to blow. Ara, is the dragon going to cover this, fallen in his, teased Akeno as she took Issei's tip in her mouth. Fuck here, I said Issei as Akeno's cheeks bloated with Issei's, making her release her mouth, making any that didn't go in her mouth go on her tits. Ara, such a big load and delicious, moaned Akeno as she used her fingers to grab some of the on her breasts and place it her mouth while looking at Issei seductively. Oh, you're a naughty girl, Akeno, said Issei darkly as he threw Akeno onto the bed and pinned her down. Issei-sama, screamed Akeno and Issei slapped her left tit cheek, leaving a red handprint. Do you like that, Akeno? You like being hit? You really are a naughty girl, said Issei, as he proceeded to hit her right tit cheek while grabbing her left tit, giving it a nice squeeze. Issei-sama, I'm a naughty girl, only for you, screamed Akeno. Haha, then you like this, said Issei as he slammed into Akeno's. Wow, fucking hell. You're tight even for a virgin, said Issei, since Akeno was the second tightest had fucked so far. Akeno as Issei proceeded to fuck her hard and fast. Haha, you are such a girl, said Issei as he proceeded to slap her tits, making them bounce and turning a shade of red every time he hit them. I think I'm going to. Do you want it in your, asked Issei as he started fucking Akeno's harder. Well then here you go, said Issei as his next load went straight into Akeno's womb. A few minutes later. Issei, you could at least put up a sound barrier, said Riaz as she walked in with everyone from last night. Ops, knew I forgot something, said Issei rubbing the back of his head. Akeno, what are you doing? Asked Riaz surprised as Akeno kissed her and dragged her onto the bed. Oh, come on Riaz, it's not the first time we've kissed, and besides I think this needs attention, said Akeno seductively as she started fingering Riaz dripping while taking her in a deep kiss. Ah, you best get used to this, Riaz purred Kuroka as she put up a barrier, and the next orgy began. The next day. Okay, everyone ready to go? Asked Surzich. Here, take these, said Grafia as she passed a small bag of phoenix tears. Thank you, everyone, ready to go? Asked Riaz as everyone nodded. Yes, said everyone. Well then off you go, said Surzich as everyone teleported off. Time skipped just before Fenrir was captured. Murayama didn't get killed by Fenrir, just got hit hard. He broke loose, screamed Kiba as Fenrir charged from Mjolnir. Watch out, screamed Roswis as Fenrir jumped from Mjolnir as chains started raping round him. That symbol, it can't be, what's going on? Asked Loki surprised and concerned. The magic chains of Gleipnir, why is it here? Asked Roswus. We prepared them, said Kuroka. One Sama, said Kaneko happily. Good work, Kaneko, now let Big Sis take over, said Kuroka happily. I can't believe the lowly cat would dare go against Loki. Screamed Loki as he shot some of his power at Kuroka, only for it to be destroyed. What now? Salutations, my name is Arthur of the Issei team. Lord Loki, we will be taking custody of Fenrir from now on, said Arthur appearing. And why would you do that? Asked Loki. Because me and Issei both know that your son Fenrir hates you and would rather die than help you, said Kuroka. The holy royal sword Caliburn, even a god as powerful as you can't scratch it, said Arthur holding up Caliburn and pointing it then sheathing it. Tell you master he will regret this, said Loki as he launched another attack at them. Sorry Loki, but I'm not going to let you hurt them, said Issei appearing with Lefay and Raynor. Well, look who it is. I thought I recognized that cat symbol, it's been too long, Issei said Loki. Hey Loki, it's only been a few years since we've seen each other, but this isn't the time to talk, it's the time to fight, said Issei happily as he spread his fallen wings and charged at Loki, lightning covered hands hitting him sending Loki flying. Issei's gone into that mode again, said Arthur. What mode is that? Asked Riaz and Issei charged after Loki grinning ear to ear. When Issei finds a strong opponent, he likes to draw on the fight as long as he can, said Lefay sighing. Well you can't blame him, when you get as strong as Issei is how many people can go against you, said Arthur. True, said Riaz. Issei and Loki exchanged several blows, making them fly past everyone at speeds they didn't think were possible. The fight continued for around an hour until Loki was sent into the ground not far from everyone, creating a huge hole, sending a huge blast wave of air and dust at everyone. This is getting boring, Murayama use Mjolnir and seal him, said Issei landing with a few rips in his cloths. Okay, here goes, said Murayama as she walked over to Mjolnir. Fuck, this is heavy, said Murayama as she started lifting Mjolnir. Get hammered, said Murayama slamming Mjolnir onto Loki sealing him away. I need to get my time with Issei senpai, said Kaneko in her mind fidgeting hoping no one would notice, but one person did. Oh, my sweet younger sister, don't worry, Big Sis is going to join you tonight, said Kuroka laughing in her mind as she could tell what her sister was thinking, and the rest of Issei's harem as well. Well let's get back, said Issei. What about Fenrir? Asked Riaz. The spell is going to take some time to undo, and besides we have to finish the peace meeting, said Issei, as he prepared to teleport everyone back. Okay, let's go, said Riaz. Later, Gremory household Kuroko's room, even though she doesn't use it. One-sama, what's Issei senpai like Naya? Asked Kaneko blushing. Oh? Has my little sister finally ready to become a woman, asked Kuroka as she walked up to her little sister. One-sama, what are you, asked Kaneko, and Kuroka grabbed her and threw her onto the bed and started playing with her body. You have such a sensitive body, Kaneko. Issei was right, you are just like me, purred Kuroka as she continued to play with her sister's body while she started playing with Kaneko's, screamed Kaneko in bliss. MHH, it seems as though you're ready, purred Kuroka, and Kaneko was now a dripping moaning mess as Issei appeared on the bed behind her without Kaneko noticing. I was right, Kaneko is a naughty little kitty, said Issei as he surprised Kaneko. Naya, Issei senpai, what are you doing? Asked Kaneko covering her body. What does it look like, Kaneko? I'm watching a young cat getting off by her sister's hands, said Issei with a perverted smile as he put up a barrier. Naya, you were right, Issei, she is a naughty little kitten, purred Kuroka crawling to Issei and started kissing him. Haha, Kaneko is your little sister, and given how naughty you are, I think I must be in your family, said Issei as he started playing with Kuroka's lovely body, teasing Kaneko since they both knew she wanted to have with him. Screamed Kuroka in bliss as Issei tweaked her hard nipples while she started moving up and down on Issei since it was in front of her in view of Kaneko. One-sama, she seems to really like it, I want it as well, said Kaneko in her thoughts as her hands trailed down to her breasts and without her even knowing. Issei, screamed Kuroka as she felt her release getting close and felt Issei's twitching, meaning he was going to as well, as now Kaneko was playing with herself so much she didn't hear anything. Go on then, in front of your little sister, I'll join you, said Issei, screamed Kuroka as she came along with Issei, sending a good few drops of there towards Kaneko, and Kaneko subconsciously licked the off her lips, falling in love with it. Naya, purred Kaneko as she crawled over to Issei and Kuroka, eyes focused on Issei's. Oh? Looks like this little kitty wants some milk, said Issei surprised as Kaneko was now licking his will, fingering herself. My little sister is such a naughty kitten, she's not sharing, purred Kuroka as she got off Issei and went down to Issei's and started licking his as well. Having two cat girls sucking and playing with you is great, said Issei as now Kaneko and Kuroka were completely focused on his. Moaned both Kuroka and Kaneko as they were now making out with each other while using their tails to jack off Issei's. Good little kitties, now Kaneko present your commanded Issei as he was getting impatient. Yes, Issei-sama, purred Kaneko seductively as she lined her up with Issei's and slammed it in without any thought, screamed Kaneko as she proceeded to bounce up and down on Issei's as fast as she could. Kaneko, you're going way too fast for your first time, slow down, said Issei concerned at how fast Kaneko was going for her first time. Kaneko nai, slow down, said Kuroka concerned. I'm fine, just fuck me, purred Kaneko as she stopped and gave Issei a chase kiss. Well then, let's give this horny kitty what she wants, said Issei as he grabbed Kaneko's waist. Don't forget about me, purred Kuroka as she got onto Issei's face and turned to face Kaneko and started making out. Well then, let's have some fun, and it looks like everyone else is ready, said Issei as he started eating out Kuroko's with the rest of his harem. From that week on it was an orgy every night, not that Issei minded, I mean who wouldn't. Asia's heat ended the next week. Before they left back for Kuo, Auden left Roswas, and after some talking, she joined Riaz as Hiruk and would be joining them at school as a teacher. Thanks for watching this video. If you really enjoy this video, like, subscribe, and comment down below, and turn on that bell notification. Don't forget to support the Wandering Boy for writing that awesome fanfic. See you in the next video. Goodbye.